In 2022, I competed in 2 USPA competitions. The first one was a non-tested in August, and I set state records in the 123 weight class for my age and classic raw. The second competition was in September, and that was a drug-tested one, and it was my very first all-female meet. I also set records in the 123 weight class because I just couldn't stop eating this summer. I was just very, very hungry all summer long and couldn't get down to the 114 weight class where I normally compete, so I decided to enjoy my food, weigh in at over 114, which would put me in the 123 weight class. And I was dealing with hip issues, so I tried various things to deal with that. In 2021, I had hip pain the entire year, even though I trained and did 2 meets. So I was on the quest of doing exercises, massage therapy, doing whatever I could do to try to get this hip from being so painful for training. And I didn't have hip pain. I bought a pair of roller skates, and that actually did activate some hip muscles that probably needed to be activated. So I was roller skating and eventually learned how to roller skate and do my Duolingo Spanish lessons at the same time. The rest of this video is just going to be clips from the gym, showing you that mostly focusing on squats, because that was what I was trying to get up. I just couldn't break 100 last year, so I was just in the gym squatting. I probably squatted too much. I probably overly fatigued myself. But in the USPA Federation, you have to break parallel. That means that your hip joint has to come below the top of your knee. You're going to see me not meet that requirement on several of these videos. I've finally worked my way up to a 95 single, which I was not able to do very much last year at all. And I set goals for myself to try to increase my squat. And you can see here I did not get it to depth, and I'm struggling to try to get it back up. And after that, I did what's called a back offset. I just worked my way back down, just trying to do as many as I could. And on this particular day, I was able to do 2 singles after I tried my 115 at failure. Then I thought, well, I'm just going to do some more. Since this training cycle, I have learned that older people are not supposed to be doing as many squats and deadlift sets as I did on this training cycle. I was super, super fatigued at my second meet, so badly that I just had to be on the floor and rest. I was very happy to have these deload weeks. That's when I just have to not move as much weight, like every 3 weeks. So in listening to a bunch of podcasts on powerlifting, I learned that I was trying to move too much weight and working too hard. For 2023, I'm also going to do either 2 or 3 meets. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to try to operate in a lower weight class. I haven't been back in the gym in a couple of months. I'm trying to lose some extra weight and just kind of keep things mobile and make sure everything gets held up before I start training again. I had a little plan about, my goal was to get to 135, do a 135 squat. So I thought, well, I'll put these 135 weights on the bar, and I will put the safety bars really, really high up so that I have no danger, because I don't have a spotter, and just try to go down as far as I could, and then maybe each week put the safety bars down a little bit lower. I did several sets of these, and my thinking was that it would just make my back stronger, so that eventually I could go all the way down to parallel and come back up with a 135 weight. I think it did make me stronger. It possibly was something that contributed to my fatigue, but I was just trying something different. I had hip pain all of last year, and this year I didn't have any hip pain. I was trying to be very careful and not reactivate that hip pain. So there's no way I was putting 135 on my back and trying to go down all the way to break parallel. So this was my plan on that. The warm-ups at 85 became a lot easier. I was able to do those without any kind of pain or any kind of fear. That was nice. I was also able to incorporate 95 pounds as part of my warm-ups. So I'm not sure that I break parallel on all of them, but at least I'm able to do a couple of them. Here I'm going to try a 115-pound single, and I don't think I break parallel on that, but I did move it. And now I'm going to try 120 because I guess that day I was feeling pretty strong. Let's see if I make it. No, don't break parallel there. Some meets, the judges are quite lenient about what they're calling a breaking parallel. Sometimes they're very, very strict. You really never know until you get in there. But I did some back offsets at 95, which I think last year 95 was just a big struggle. That was like the peak of my day. If I could do 95 and get close to parallel. So I'm considering this a win. So now this is the next week I've moved the safety bars 5 holes from the bottom, trying to go down a little bit lower. But you can see at the top of my hips, I'm lacking some strength there, and I think it's because I was just suffering from that injury all of last year. Wasn't really able to work the muscles I needed to for squat. This year I didn't do any accessory work. I just did squat, bench, deadlift, squat, bench, deadlift, squat, bench, deadlift. Thought I would try that and see what happened. Thinking I'm going to put some accessory work back in for 2023. But I really enjoyed doing this, the 135, and just not breaking parallel, not trying to get low. I don't know if it helped. I don't know if it was one of the things that contributed to a lot of my fatigue, but probably something I'm going to keep just because I like it until somebody tells me something different. So now we're going to see me fail at a weight of deadlifting that normally is quite easy for me. And I guess I was just really fatigued that day, but I was really concentrating not on deadlifting because I knew it was going to be fairly easy for me to get a deadlifting record at the meet. The squat was what I was really focusing on this time. Last year I focused on the bench because of my hip pain. So I did increase on my bench last year, but just was trying to maintain bench work this time. So I had a very helpful judge tell me at the meet my deadlift did not progress as much as I thought it should. And she told me the tip that not to wear squat shoes when I'm deadlifting. The squat shoes are so comfortable, and they made a big difference in my squat. Here's to see if I get this 115. Nah, probably not. That the squat shoes did help a lot on my squat. I wasn't sure that they would. But if you wear them during deadlifting, it pitches you forward, which it did. And I thought, well, that's why my deadlifting didn't progress this time. That was probably pretty good at a 105. And wearing the squat shoes while I was doing my deadlifting was probably hindering me from making gains on my deadlifting this time. It was very nice of her to tell me that. She didn't have to, but so now it's going to be back to the flat chucks for my deadlifting, or I may get a pair of the deadlifting slippers. She sent me a link for those. That may be my new piece of equipment for 2023. My 2023 goals are to be competing at a 105 weight class. I haven't been back in the gym since the meet. I was just utterly fatigued, had a lot of things I needed to get caught up on at home and at school and for family, and just was trying to fight off a sickness, just being around the kids in the cold and being utterly fatigued, and dedicating myself to losing weight and restoring my body and my health for the remainder of 2022. And I'm going to get back in the gym probably in late December, early January, start training for some meets. I'm going to either do 2 or 3 in 2023. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how this weight loss plan goes, and we'll go from there. But I was happy to be able to set state records for 2022, even though it was a higher weight class. Thank you for watching. If you can, give the video a thumbs up and leave a positive comment. It helps my channel grow. Come back and see what happens in 2023. And until then, just stay healthy and do whatever keeps you moving. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Skate backwards! Well, really just walk backwards on skates, but hey, it's progress, right?